everyone, welcome back to Loading Marriage. You can see we're back after a little bit of a hiatus from Sandy. She wasn't feeling too well. Our daughter currently is not feeling too well, and I have a feeling I'm coming down with a cold too. So if I start coughing and sneezing and all that, I apologize.
I'm still at the tail end too, so if I start hacking...
But you know what? We've come back for you guys, so because we care. We're going to pick up where we left off in Star Wars Battlefield 2.
Battlefield?
Oh, jeez.
Who's screwing it up now?
Hey, okay, you know what? In all fairness, yesterday I was in Canada, and I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning to catch my flight home to take care of our child for the day. So, no naps in between. It is now about 9 o'clock at night, so it's been a while for me. So anyways, Battlefront 2, we have to kill this guy, Lee Mackay, and so that's where we're picking up at.
Super.
So,
killing people.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta kill people.
Sure.
Kind of a horrible thing to say. Again, another one of those moments that I'm like, wow, they let us volunteer with children.
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
Ah!
I need something that can drive my ship for me.
Well, then what would be the point of the game?
It's just for, like, you know, like those cars that have the protect, like if you drift too far in the lane, it auto-corrects for you. Yeah,
the lane departure warning.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just need one of those. I'm, not totally fly for me, but,
Well then.
So.
I'm so congested.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about our congestion. We're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist, and we'll be fine. So, speaking of self-driving cars and things like that, I was listening to a comedian today, and he's talking about his, I think, cousin or something like that, always says he invents things. And in reality, he doesn't invent things, he just comes up with ideas. And the idea the guy had was a cell phone that drives your car for you, right?
Huh.
Which I think is a fantastic idea. Like I said, as soon as self-driving cars come out, like when the ones that Google have come out, we're getting one. I mean, I am so sick of driving. I trust the machines. They've driven millions of miles.
Well, they can't be any worse than me.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not that bad.
Okay, wait. You can't make a statement like they can't be any worse than me, and then like, oh yeah, you're like, I'm not that bad, and get mad that I've said anything.
I feel the need
and we left the tissue box behind my head. Get out of here.
I feel the need to reassure any parents who might be watching, who have allowed me to babysit their kids and I've driven their kids around,
Let me reassure you that every time you let Sandy babysit your children and she has to take them anywhere, you are just rolling the dice with your child's life. So,
what?
You know who you are, knock it off.
No!
Right? That was a finger point and a little bit of a wag going on.
I am not that bad. I will admit that I am not the best driver, but I am not a bad driver.
Oh, disable mine. Oh, okay, disable mines. Okay, we get back to it. I don't need to.
I'm not that bad.
I'm sure that makes people feel.
The only accident I've ever been in that was my fault was when it was raining and my car needed new tires and I was coming up to a stoplight and I had to stop and I didn't stop soon enough and I tapped the lady's bumper in front of me.
What about the time you backed up into a parked car? We just gonna ignore that one? Huh? Are we? I also do recall a time that you actually... No, it didn't cause any damage, but when you were backing up, you did hit a dumpster at a restaurant parking lot.
Okay, let's remember all the facts of that evening.
No, we don't need to remember all the facts of that
We do need to remember all the facts of that evening.
No.
We don't need to talk about them, but that's not fair to bring that one up.
It's totally fair.
No, it's not. Mostly because I totally forgot about that.
Oh, okay. So, back to what my original point was, right? was that this guy, this comedian, his cousin or whatnot, came up with this app that drives your car. So of course it makes me wonder. It's like, if I can make an app that would do anything, like, what would I do? Now I already know what your answer is going to be, so I'm going to go ahead and veto it. They already know what your answer is going to be too, and we'll come back to that in this cutscene.
It's over. The opportunity just surrendered.
What? I take down their leader and they just give up?
I may have told them that we were
Daughter's got a
prepared to
pretty
fire
wicked
all of
jawline.
our concussion missiles.
A pretty
Having
wicked
one.
what?
Jawline.
Say, the Corvus never had missiles, you know that?
Yeah, well, they don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice work, soldier.
That's not all. They gave up everything. Gleb scooped up Dell when he stumbled onto Project Resurrection.
Where is she?
You're not gonna believe it.
I don't believe it. Where are we going? Where are you going?
Looks like during cutscenes without showing our faces, they would have never known that went anywhere. Thanks.
Aiden, why'd you ask Zay to stay on the...
Okay, so now we're done with the cutscene. I already know what your app would be.
And it is what?
Gleb.
An app that makes ice cream.
No.
Forget.
So why don't you...
An app that makes ice cream or dispenses chocolate or
No.
gives you pizza
No.
or some other really fat kid thing.
Actually, shut your face hole. It's the opposite.
At least it's snowing. That's nice.
I would want a phone app that can burn fat cells.
Like with a laser?
I don't care how, but it could just make me lose weight, burn calories, like so then I could eat all the fat kid stuff, and it would just burn the calories for me.
Aiden,
I don't care how,
What is that like?
Okay.
as long as it doesn't hurt really bad.
it has to be.
I imagine that burning calories at a very rapid rate would hurt.
We find out what happened to Dell, then you get back to the Resistance and figure out what's going on.
As long as it doesn't hurt worse than like a bad sunburn.
Well, okay, so you know what the thing is again, we're talking, you can make an app that does anything. As long as you can kind of explain your app as to why. You could have just made up any science fiction mumbo-jumbo you wanted. You know what I personally would have done? Teleportation. It just beams your fat away. But you didn't use that, so therefore, it's a strike against your...
But where would it beam your fat to? There's the question. Where would all the fat go?
To like a liposuction clinic or something. They put it in bags and they throw it in the dumpster.
Wait, but I mean, like, okay, if you could
So-
imagine though, if this app existed, okay, and you could teleport your fat to anywhere, everybody and their mother. I guess I should shut up because now they're gonna talk.
Yeah.
It was Gleb.
Oh, snap.
Drop your weapons.
I don't like him.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. You're not supposed to.
The Protectorate had outlived her usefulness to Project Resurrection and the First Order.
Project Resurrection. Kidnapping children.
Rescuing. Forging them into an army the likes of which this galaxy has never seen.
The Senate won't stand for this.
The Senate and the rest of the Hosnian system are now nothing but ashes.
Those red lights in the sky.
It's beautiful, isn't it? You see, the Republic spent decades doing nothing. And all along, we were preparing for this day. You see, Aiden, I hope you appreciate that today, of all days, I chose to be here with you. In the place where you took everything from me. Yes, our squad, my family. and I've waited a long time to return the favor. First with Del. Yes. And now, with your daughter.
He orders someone to look at him through a telescope. So that when he pointed at the ship, they're like, alright, now we can shoot. Like, and what was the Corvus doing? Like, there's a gigantic triangle. It's like a moon-sized Dorito flying at you, and you're like, oh, well.
Find out what
I don't know if it's exactly
resistance and then burn this city.
moon-sized.
Small moon-sized.
Very small moon.
I had to live in your galaxy, Aiden. Now it's your turn to live in mine.
Meh.
I still have a 30-year-old robot on my back, too.
Yeah, right? I was thinking that. That's a really old robot. Like, that tech is old.
Punched a guy with a helmet. Like, that's gotta hurt your hands so much.
I don't think she's thinking much about her hands right now. She's in kill mode.
So anyway, okay, so now we can talk again. Back to your,
Right, okay, so...
No.
I was making a point.
Yeah, and I was going to add to your point.
But I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead. What's your point?
Alright, so, if such an app existed, everybody and their mother would use it. Everybody would. And, okay, so then, that's a lot more fat than any liposuction clinic has ever handled. So, you can't just teleport it to a liposuction clinic because, I mean, they're going to be overwhelmed with fat just showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah, but no, okay, so first of all, it's got to be an app that you have to pay for. You know, and they charge you by the pound or something.
Okay.
You know, the way liposuction right?
Yeah.
A disposal fee, if you will, or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
So that's one. And then also, I mean, we'll just find some other thing to do. Like in, was it Fight Club? We'll make soap out of it, and, you know, maybe some of it will go to the zoo, and they'll feed it to the bears so they get a taste for human flesh. I don't know. But it's options, alright? I'm brainstorming. I am trying to make so you can lose weight easily in our fantasy world of nonsense. And you are not working with me. So...
Get it. Well, I mean, by that logic, if we're going to full fantasy mode, we just vaporize the fat.
Yeah, but again, that's the heat. So we have to have a separate app that vaporizes the fat after it's been teleported off of you.
Right. Well, I mean, they can have vaporization centers where your fat gets teleported to, and then that's what you're paying the
It doesn't
fees
have
for.
to be vaporized. It can just go into, like, you know, like energy, like you know, it heats a water boiler that runs a generator. And like the entire city of Chicago will be powered by all the fat people there.
That's
they eat a lot of
bad
cheese.
idea.
They eat a lot of cheese.
Do they? Are Chicagoans known for?
I'm pretty certain that
Chicagoites, Chicagies.
Yeah, I have no idea
I
how it goes. Well, I just feel like they do. I mean, I'm there a lot, and in all fairness, all the people that I know actually aren't really from Chicago, and it's actually a pretty small group, so I am making a very broad generalization, but still, everyone loves cheese, so yes, they must eat a lot of cheese.
Everyone loves cheese, and
So-
if you don't, you're wrong.
Oh.
I'm looking at you. Yeah.
Who are you looking at? Like, do you know someone specifically that watches this that's like, I don't like cheese?
I know someone who I recently watched peel the cheese off of pizza.
Really?
Yes.
Who's that?
One of the parents who lets me drive her kids around.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not the one from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Isn't
She's
that-
not from Wisconsin. She's from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what. Sorry.
Although that would have been funny.
Yeah, well, like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't that, like, sacrilegious for them? Like don't they
So
all...
I don't know if it's all cheese or if it's just melted cheese. And I have met several people in my life who are weirded out by melted cheese on pizza. And so they just eat the crust and the sauce. I don't get it. Just have breadsticks
Find a
then.
communication relay.
I don't-
We'll scan the city for...
Or garlic knots. Oh my god.
Well, before Sandy goes all fat kid on us,
Through to the
we're going to have to end the episode. You see, that's like what is going to be what ends our episodes now. It's just that look.
What?
That look of
The fat
garlic
kid
knots,
look?
and then you look off into the distance. Like, I don't know what you're looking at. There's nothing over there. Just for everyone's... I got some Star Wars stuff hanging up over there. And that's it.
I was actually looking at the Death Star on the wall.
Yeah, that's Star Wars stuff, dear.
Yeah, I know, but you were pointing up to that Star Wars stuff.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this just random nonsense. See you all next time.
Oh, I just farted. Oh, I farted so bad.